We'll discuss some more problems from Z transform. So last class we have seen problems from damping rule and shifting property. Now here we have another problem from shifting property, that is 1 by n plus 1 factorial. So I have told you whenever you have n plus or minus k, it is shifting property. So here you have n plus 1. So write the formula. Z of un plus 1 is z into z of un minus u naught. So un plus 1 is 1 by n plus 1 factorial. It means un is 1 by n factorial. U naught 1 by 0 factorial is 1. So u naught means n is 0. So now you substitute in this formula. So z of 1 by n plus 1 factorial, z times z of 1 by n factorial minus 1. So what is z of 1 by n factorial? It is e power 1 by z. I have discussed this in the last class. I told you it is one of the standard functions. You have to remember the transform of 1 by n factorial and 1 by n plus 1. I have shared this in the formula page. You have to by heart this transform. Z of 1 by n factorial is e power 1 by z. So z times e power 1 by z minus 1. Now we have a problem on finding the transform of 1 by n plus 1 into n plus 2. So whenever you have this type, you should resolve into partial fractions. So 1 by n plus 1 n plus 2 equals a by n plus 1 plus b by n plus 2. So either you can give values to n or you can compare the coefficients. So if I compare the n coefficients, left side 0, right side a plus b. If I compare the constants, 2a plus b equals 1. On solving, you get a as 1, b as minus 1. So 1 by n plus 1 n plus 2 equals 1 by n plus 1 minus 1 by n plus 2. Take the transform on both the sides. So z of the nth term, the given nth term is 1 by n plus 1 into n plus 2 is same as transform of 1 by n plus 1 plus transform of minus 1 by n plus 2. So take it as 1. Now you have n plus 1, n plus 2, that means shifting property. So let us do 1 by 1. So you have n plus 1. So write this property. Z of un plus 1 is z times z of un minus u naught. So un plus 1 is 1 by n plus 1. Un 1 by n. U naught, if you take n as 0, you are getting infinity. So whenever you get infinity, don't go for the property. You should find the transform with the definition. I repeat, in problems when you are not able to get the transform using property, go for the definition. Whenever you get infinity with any of the properties, you go for finding the transform with the definition. So what is the definition? Z of un summation un z bar minus n. So in place of un you have 1 by n plus 1. Expand the summation. If n is 0, 1. If n is 1, half z inverse. If n is 2, 1 by 3 z bar minus 2. If n is 3, 1 by 4 z bar minus 3 plus etc. Now observe the terms. Every series will have a pattern. So the denominators you have 1, 2, 3, 4. And numerator you have z bar minus 1, z bar minus 2, z bar minus 3. So when you don't have factorial in the denominator, it means it is logarithmic series. You can, I told you there are 3 types of series which you come across in the problems. Exponential series, it will have factorial in the denominator. Binomial series, so it will not, the denominator is 1. And logarithmic series, you don't have factorial in the denominator. So the above series is logarithmic series. So first thing, when all the terms are positive, this is a series. This is a series it will belong to. So when all the terms are positive, the series will be minus log of 1 minus x, x plus x square by 2 plus x cube by 3 plus etc. So you see you observe the terms. If it is 2, x square, if it is 1x, if it is 3x cube. So the power of x and the denominator are same. But here, if it is 2, the power is 1. If it is 3, the power is 2. If it is 4, the power is 3. So to get logarithmic series, what we do here is we multiply and divide by z inverse. See, if it is 2, you should get z power minus 2. If it is 3, you should get z power minus 3. So to get logarithmic series, we multiply this, we multiply and divide by z, or we multiply the whole series by z inverse. Then you take z inverse inside. So z inverse plus z inverse whole square by 2 plus z inverse whole cube by 3 plus z inverse whole power 4 by 4 plus etc. So to get logarithmic series, we multiply this by z inverse. Then I am taking z inverse inside. Now you see the series z times z inverse plus z inverse whole square by 2 plus z inverse whole cube by 3 plus etc. So if it is 2, the power is 2. If it is 3, the power is 3. If it is 4, the power is 4. That means it is the standard logarithmic series minus log of 1 minus x. Here in place of x you have z inverse. So z into minus log of 1 minus z inverse, or minus z log of 1 minus 1 by z, or minus z log of z minus 1 by z, or z log of z by z minus 1. So take it as 2. Now we have to find the transform of n plus 1 by n plus 2. So here also, when you do with the property, you will get infinity, because you have got infinity with shifting property for 1 by n plus 1. So we are finding the transform of 1 by n plus 2 with the definition. So what is the definition? Z of un summation un z power minus n. So un is 1 by n plus 2. So summation 1 by n plus 2 z power minus n. So you expand the summation. When n is 0, half z power minus 0. When n is 1, 1 by 3 z inverse. When n is 2, 1 by 4 z power minus 2. When n is 3, 1 by 5 z power minus 3 plus etc. So now all the terms are positive. So that means, and you don't have factorial in the denominator, that means it will belong to the standard logarithmic series. So what is the standard logarithmic series? Minus log of 1 minus x equals x plus x square by 2 plus x cube by 3 plus etc. So to get standard logarithmic series, see, in standard logarithmic series, if the power is 2, the denominator is 2. If the power is 3, denominator is 3. So the power of x and the denominator are same. But here it is not so. So to get logarithmic series, we multiply this series by z square z power minus 2. So you have z square times z power minus 2 by 2 plus z power minus 3 by 3 plus z power minus 4 by 4 plus etc. Now the first term is missing. So it is of the form x square by 2 plus x cube by 3 plus x power 4 by 4 plus etc. So the first term is missing. So we are adding and subtracting z inverse. So this series is the standard logarithmic series minus log 1 minus z inverse minus z inverse. Now you bring z square inside, minus z square log of 1 minus 1 by z minus z, or minus z square log of z minus 1 by z minus z. So we have got the transform of 1 by n plus 2. So we know the transform of 1 by n plus 1. We know the transform of 1 by n plus 2. So transform of 1 by n plus 1 is equation 2. And transform of 1 by n plus 2 is equation 3. Substitute that, you will get this answer. Now we will see the fourth property, initial value property. The property says if z of un equals u bar of z, then u naught equals limit z tending to infinity u bar of z, u1 limit z tending to infinity z times u bar of z minus u naught, u2 limit z tending to infinity z square u bar of z minus u0 minus u1 by z. u3 is limit z tending to infinity z cube u bar of z minus u0 minus u1 by z minus u2 by z square. So you can observe the pattern. If it is u1, it ends with u0. If it is u2, you have z square, it ends with u1. If it is u3, you have z cube outside and it ends with u2 by z square. So by heart these four values you will be using in problems. So if z of un equals u bar of z, it means the z transform exists. Whenever you write this, it means z transform of un exists. Now we will see a problem. If u bar of z equals z by z minus 1 plus z by z square plus 1, show that u of n, z of un plus 2 is this expression. See, in previous problems, we were given the nth term, we found the z transform. But here, you are given the transform. U bar of z means you are given the z transform. You are asked to find z of u n plus 2. So what is z of u n plus 2 by shifting property? Z square z of u n minus u naught minus u1 by z. Now what is u naught by, whenever you have to find u naught, u1, u2, it means initial value property. So what is the formula for u naught? U naught is limit z tending to infinity of u bar of z. What is u bar of z? Z by z minus 1 plus z by z square plus 1. Now as z tends to infinity, it takes up infinity by infinity form. So you can go for L'Hopital's rule, or you can simplify like this. Whenever it takes up infinity by infinity form, that is indeterminate form, don't go for L'Hopital's rule in Z transform. So what you have to do is, you see z by z minus 1 is same as 1 by 1 minus 1 by z, and here z by, take the highest power out, so z square into 1 by z square into 1 plus 1 by z square. I repeat, whenever you have infinity by infinity form, don't go for L'Hopital's rule. You simplify like this. This is same as 1 by 1 minus 1 by z, and here z by z square into 1 plus 1 by z square. So as z tends to infinity, 1 by z square tends to 0. So this is 1 and this is 0. First term is 1, second term is 0. So u naught is 1. Now u1, what is the formula for u1? Limit z tending to infinity, z times u bar of z minus u naught. What is u bar of z? Z by z minus 1 plus z by z square plus 1. This is given in the problem. U bar of z is given in the problem. U naught we have got it as 1. So we have substituted. Then again, here again, when you it will take up indeterminate form, infinity by infinity. By default it will be indeterminate form, infinity by infinity. So you take the LCM and simplify. So z times the LCM is z minus 1 z square plus 1, and so here you have z into z square plus 1 plus z into z minus 1 minus of z minus 1 into z square plus 1. So you simplify, z cube gets cancelled, and so you have 2z square minus z plus 1 within the brackets, and the numerator is 2z square minus z plus 1 by z minus 1 into z square plus 1. Outside the bracket you have 1z. Again it takes up infinity by infinity form. So take the highest power of z out. So if you apply the limit, it takes up infinity by infinity form. Don't go for L'Hopital's rule. Take the highest power of z from both numerator and denominator. So z into z square, 2 minus z by z square plus 1 by z square, denominator 1 minus 1 by z, 1 plus 1 by z square. So z cube gets cancelled. So as z tends to infinity, 1 by z square tends to 0. So the limit is 2. So u naught is 1, u1 is 2. So what is a shifting property? z of un plus 2 is z square z of un minus u naught minus u1 by z. Z of un is same as u bar of z. So this expression is given in the problem, and u naught we have got it as 1, u1 is 2. So substitute and then take LCM and simplify. So the LCM is z into z minus 1 into z square plus 1. On simplification, you get z square into z into z square minus z plus 2 by z minus 1 into z square plus 1. So take the LCM and simplify. So on simplification you will get this expression. So we have got what you have in the problem, you are given un, you are given z of un, that is u bar of z. You found z of un plus 2 by using initial value property. So this is the problem. This is I have explained one problem for initial value property. Now I will take up one more problem from initial value property later. Now we have a problem. If z of un equals u bar of z, it means z transform exists. Show that transform of n un is minus z d by dz of u bar of z. So whenever you have to find the transform of n times un, you start with the definition. Whenever you have to find the transform of n un, start with the definition. What is the definition? Z of un summation un z bar minus n. So in place of un you have n un, that is summation n un z bar minus n. So in z bar minus n, you split it as z bar minus n minus 1 into z. See, z bar minus n, you split it as z into z bar minus n minus 1. Now the summation is only for nth term, so z is taken out. Now what is this summation? See, summation un into minus n z bar minus n minus 1. So this term is same as a derivative of z bar minus n. If you group a minus n z bar minus n minus 1, it is same as d by dz of z bar minus n. So or you can take d by dz out. So minus z d by dz of summation un z bar minus n. So this is the definition of z transform, that is u bar of z. So what we have, z of n un equals minus z d by dz of u bar of z, that is minus z d by dz of z of un. I repeat, see, you're given the transform of un exists. You are asked to find the transform of n un. So whenever you have the problem as n times un, say n cos n theta, n e bar n sin n theta, n cos h n theta, whenever you have that, start with the definition. Z of un summation un z bar minus n. In place of un you have n un, so summation n un z bar minus n. The next step, split n z bar minus n as z bar minus n minus 1 into z. So minus z is outside, and minus into minus plus, so summation un into minus n z bar minus n minus 1. I repeat, we are splitting my z bar minus n as z into z bar minus n minus 1, and you have multiply outside the summation and inside the summation. So minus into minus is plus. Now the next step, within the summation, it is summation un minus n z bar minus n minus 1. So this bracket term is same as d by dz of z bar minus n, or minus d by dz of summation un z bar minus n, or u bar of z. So minus d by dz of u bar of z, or so what we have, left side z of n un is minus d by dz of u bar of z, or minus d by dz of z of un. Now we have a problem. find the transform of n cosine theta, n sin n theta. So this is of this type. So start with the definition. So whenever you have n un type, start with the definition. Z of un summation un z bar minus n. So I am doing for sin n theta, you will do for cosine theta on your own. So z of n un, what is the formula? Minus z d by dz of z of un. You should by heart this expression. You should by heart this. Z of n un is same as minus z d by dz of z of un. So z of n sin n theta is minus z d by dz of z of sin n theta. Un is sin n theta. What is z of sin n theta? Z sin theta by z square minus 2z cos theta plus 1. So this you have to differentiate by quotient rule. So in derivative of numerator 1 into sin theta into the denominator minus derivative of denominator 2z minus 2 cos theta into the numerator by denominator square. Now on simplification, 2z sin theta cos theta gets cancelled. So you have z square minus 2z plus 1 into sin theta. Outside you have minus z by the denominator square.